So you have freed yourself from yourself and for yourself into just freedom, because this freedom is existential. Hello and welcome to the Inward Practice. Today's video is about why you never truly feel free. It has to do with the 3 stages of freedom. So it's going to be an interesting video. Freedom is freedom. Well, maybe at the end of your freedom journey, perhaps so. If I would ask anybody now, what do you want most in your life? Some say security, some say love, some say peace. But they all would point to a deeper felt, a deeper experienced level of freedom in their lives. And it is also the ultimate goal of the yogi, is ultimate freedom. Yeah. So there is something in freedom, which means that most people on a conscious or unconscious level experience that they are not free in the moment, that there is something limiting, inhibiting, minimizing their freedom. They feel imprisoned to a certain extent. And some people have that more than others, you know. Well, my guru, Osho, he would divide freedom in 3 levels. There is freedom from, which is the first level. The second level, which is better in a way, you know, it's a higher level of freedom. It's freedom for. And then the third level, which is real freedom, is just freedom. So, freedom from, freedom for, and just freedom. That's beautiful. So let's begin with the first kind of freedom. It could be freedom from financial problems. It could be freedom from the dramas in a relationship. It could be freedom from stress. It could be freedom from loneliness. It could be freedom from illnesses. You know, there are many freedom froms. The thing is that it creates a certain kind of mindset, this freedom from. It creates a mindset which is very prevalent in modern day society, that if you are free from that and that and that and that, you will be happy. And that, of course, is an illusion. You know, remove, like advertising tells us, remove your wrinkles and you'll be happy, and you will have the most fantastic relationship with your partner because they suddenly love you so totally and completely. You know, never believe any advertisement, okay? Freedom from unwanted weight, for example, or diseases in the body. Freedom from trauma, whether it's physical or psychological. Our entire civilization, we have become experts in solving problems. So the mind creates problems and then solves them, makes itself free from them, thinks it can do that, and then it thinks it will be happy. Well, the happiness may last a few moments, a few hours, even if you're lucky, a few days. And then you're back to start. Unhappiness, feeling imprisoned, feeling limited, inhibited. So you see, if you're in an abusive relationship, free yourself from it. Leave. If you are living under an oppression, freedom matters enormously. So, sometimes you need to free yourself from certain things, of course, of course. Maybe if you leave this over-demanding job, after 20 years, and you finally free yourself from it, and you have some financial freedom, after a couple of days or weeks, the boredom kicks in, and you become unhappy and lonely and all these things again. So now you need freedom from boredom. The mind, which is the biggest problem of all, it's also a big blessing, but it's also a big problem. The mind simply creates new problems. It finds a new object or subject to struggle about, to be busy with it, to feel limited by, and to want to be free from. So it's an ongoing journey without an end. So after you've fought some battles, let's say, and you freed yourself from certain things, situations, peoples, you start to realize you are still the same person. Because maybe your partner has changed. Maybe your job has changed. Maybe your finances have changed. Maybe your house has changed. But you still have the same psychological structure. Your mind, your ego still works as before. So it would not be really freedom. So that was the first level. And this is also where Patanjali, the patron saint of yoga, and Osho, my guru for over 30 years now, they come together. Like Patanjali says, yoga chitta vritti nirodha, meaning yoga is about stilling the fluctuations of the mind. Patanjali goes directly to the mind, and Osho also goes directly to the mind, as he says the root cause of all your problems is your mind. So we need to work with the mind. We do not need to work with the outer circumstances. We need to work with the inner circumstances. We need to do inward practices. The mind will always find another enemy. Now let me just repeat this, because this is very powerful. Your mind, my mind, our mind, the mind will always create another enemy. Because the mind lives by fight, conflict, struggle, drama, trauma. The mind cannot be peaceful for long. It will look and search and find something to grab, to digest, to analyze, to make a problem from, to make a problem of it. Because the ego, which is part of the mind, thinks it needs to fight and conquer and have victory over everything. The ego thinks, the mind believes that it is separate from other people, from other living beings, that it is separate from the sun, the moon, and the stars, and the rivers, and the seas, and the trees. And of course, it is not separate. It is all one big existence. It is very good, the first step, the first level of freedom, freedom from, because you try to move away from suffering, from pain, from drama, from the things that haunt you, that disturb you, that block you. So very good. But then after a while, something begins to happen. Sometimes suddenly people start to realize, I don't just want to escape from suffering. I want to live for something. I want to create something. So then your life force energy, you refocus it on the things that you do want and not on the things that you do not want. And the thing is, energy flows where attention goes. If you're all the time busy with the things you do not want, they become bigger and bigger in your life. At least in your mind, and therefore in your life. So, it's a big realization to understand that you have to focus your life force energy in freedom for. And so your freedom gains direction. It is, for example, freedom for creativity, to be able to create things. If you're like a painter or a musician or an artist, you want to create art. Maybe you want freedom for love, so you can share more of your love with the world and the people around you. Maybe you want freedom, freedom in time, for example, so you have more time to meditate. Maybe you want freedom for growing your own vegetables, creating something, doing something positive with your energy. We are creators. Humans are creators. Freedom for is a much deeper form of freedom than freedom from. Suddenly your freedom and your life have a meaning. It becomes meaningful. It has a purpose. You have a purpose. And you can grow and learn while giving your life force energy to those certain things. But Osho, he says something very subtle, very beautiful. He says, even here in the freedom for, there is still an attachment. Now, instead of needing freedom from suffering, you need certain conditions to express yourself. For example, I need silence around me so I can meditate. I need enough money so I can serve others. I need the perfect retreat, a meditation retreat, so I can grow. Again, freedom for also depends on circumstances, just like freedom from. I mean, it is a better kind of freedom, it is a much finer prison, but it is still a prison. Yeah. So the journey towards the ultimate freedom, the purpose of yoga, continues even here. I would like to say something about the spiritual ego before we move on to the third form of freedom. The ego is very cunning, and so it just changes its vocabulary. It changes the words that it speaks to you. Like yesterday, it wanted money for freedom, or making that journey around the world, you know. But now, since you've become so spiritually evolved, it wants enlightenment. It wants followers. So it can give retreats and save the world. Yesterday, your ego was comparing houses. Today, it compares meditation retreats. So, nothing essential has changed, has transformed. The ego is still trying to become someone, to be someone, to become someone. You know, I am more enlightened than you. I have so much more experience in drinking ayahuasca than you. I have done meditation for over 30 years now. I must be more evolved than you, therefore I must be wiser than you, therefore I must be better than you. Stuff like that it makes up. Even if you are not aware that you are thinking those things, they are going on just below the surface of your consciousness, in your subconscious and or unconscious. And so not only Osho warns us about this, I think many enlightened masters and also Patanjali, he warns us against this. He warns us against any form of attachment. And therefore, I think it is one of the beautiful yoga or yogi rules or sayings or practices that you should not attach yourself to the fruits of your labor, to the outcome of your practice. You just practice because you know and you feel it is healthy for you, it is helpful for you. But every day, every practice is different. And also every outcome, every result is different. And the more indifferent you can be and remain towards the outcomes, the results of your practice, the more free you will be. So now we come to the third level of freedom, which Osho calls just freedom. Yeah? It's just freedom. I think you are free from. You are free from free for. I hope you can still follow me here. And now you are just free in the moment, here and now. This is very difficult for the mind, for the ego to comprehend, to understand, because it would not believe that freedom without an object or a subject that it's attached to is possible. But please understand, this freedom that I'm talking about, the just freedom, is no longer a psychological freedom. So you have freed yourself from yourself and for yourself into just freedom, because this freedom is existential. It is your nature. You are free. But we've been brainwashed so much by society, parents, teachers, peers, televisions, magazines, movies. We've been brainwashed so much that we don't believe we are free. That we believe we have to fight for our freedom. But it is actually a natural state. So the whole path, the whole spiritual path, and the whole path of yoga, breath work, meditation, it is actually to just become natural again. Become yourself again. Your real self has always been free. Your fake self, your untrue self, your persona, your masks that you use to function in the world, which is not the real you, those parts of you are not free. Therefore, maybe now you can understand that there is nothing to achieve on the path of personal growth, spirituality. There's actually nothing to achieve. The ego wants to achieve. But the reality of you is a isness, is about being who you are. And somehow most people have forgotten it. But this is a paradise. This life here on earth is supposed to be a paradise of abundance. This whole idea of lack and shortage and having to fight for and fight against, illusions. Illusions that are very real in the superficiality of life. And we've all been pushed into that dimension to function there and look no further. Look no further. Look no further. This is my life. I cannot see much, but I can still see enough. So, the real journey is inward. The real journey is going inward, inquire, investigate, explore your mind's ways and beliefs. Now, how would it be if you would be in a state of a constant experience and feeling of freedom, of love, of being creative and exchanging freely of your life force energy with existence, who's also feeding you its life force energy continuously, breathing freely, thinking freely. I mean, we have become imprisoned, limited, inhibited in so many ways that there's a lot of work to do, and yet there's nothing to do in order to be just free. In order to realize, you need to explore yourself a little bit, investigate your thoughts, your beliefs, your behaviors, your patterns. Because the patterns serve you, but the patterns also limit you. And I'm talking about all kinds of patterns, thought patterns, behavior patterns, relationship patterns, breathing patterns, emotional patterns. We have so many patterns. Break them. Break the ones that you don't like. Because these patterns, they serve us for 5 years, 10 years, sometimes 20, 30 years in our lives. And then suddenly we feel completely stuck and we cannot move on. And those are the moments that we feel very stressed or even burnout, you know. But those are very blessed moments, because those are moments that you need to go inward in order to transform to a wider truth, a more free view on life, on yourself, on existence. And I wish you all to be just free. You are already free. Remember that. Namaste. Until the next video.